And a lot of the things that they decide at the Senate level, the state Senate level, really trickles down to us and really puts us in our pocketbooks and in our rights and all those types of things. So it's exciting to have somebody with the energy that Ben has running, and he's an educator. All
right, thank you so much, and thank everybody for showing up on this rainy of the day. And I really encourage you to pick up one of my yard signs. They're great looking in your yard and as an umbrella. Works really, really well. Now, I'm a teacher, and I'm running for, How many teachers do we have in the room? Oh my God, a lot. They are the largest employers in our county. But our average teacher salary in Florida is $54,000. At the national level, it's $69,000 a year. We should be giving our teachers at least average. We should be giving our kids, our future, at least the average opportunity to succeed. But they're underinvesting in that. And the money is there. We're giving $4.2 billion to the private school industry this year. These corporations that pretend to be schools, 69% of which are unaccredited. With that $4.2, if it went to what us, the taxpayers, actually wanted to go to, the public school option, we could hire the 5,000 teachers we're missing in Florida. We could raise all of those new teachers and our current teachers' average salary to the national average, and we could cancel all school meal debt while still having $806 million left over. Wow. They are spending more to break the system than it would cost to fix it. And it's a classic trope of their policy where they steal from us, the working people, and they give to these monopolies. Our rent increased 33% in a year and stayed there. Our home prices increased by twice in a year and stayed there. It used to be you could spend a third of your income, save a third of your income, and put a third to housing. You can't do that anymore. And so people coming into this market for the first time and people who are leaving the market, those are fixed incomes, are elderly, can't afford to live here anymore. It used to be the retirement capital of the world, of America. But now you can't afford to be here unless you come in with $400,000. It is the land of opportunity for the people who start out rich. For everybody else, our money just gets drained and into the rich's accounts. Now, I'm running because we can change that. The tax structure in Florida, the poorest 20% spends 13% of our income in taxes. The richest 1% spends less than 3%. The poor people pay 4 times as much in taxes than the richest. We can change that. That is a law that our government makes. We can fix it so the richest people are paying the most in taxes, and the poorest people who can't afford it don't. They can survive this economy. We can ensure that there are enough homes that will be affordable for every single person in this state. The current state senator, he votes time and time again to move money away from the Sadowski Fund, the way that we fund housing in the state. He's moved $10 billion out of it over the past few years. Sorry, $2 billion over the past 10 years. If that money stayed in there, it could have built 97,000 homes, created 33,000 more jobs. I will fund that. When you vote me into state senate, I'll make sure we are investing in our future. We're investing responsibly, building with climate change in mind. That's how we lower the home insurance problem, which is every single person that I talk to biggest problem. Their home insurance is out of control. And DeSantis acknowledged that. And you know what he did? Deregulated the insurance companies, give them everything they wanted. Now there are 18 under review by the Office of Insurance Regulation, but they aren't doing anything to them. They're not even enforcing the regulations we have on the book now. When I get in there, I'll make sure our government works for us, not just stealing from us. I'll make sure that we're investing in our future, that we're protecting our water. We see this week that DeSantis has turned the Department of Environmental Protection into the Department of Environmental Destruction. And it's sad. The environment is the best part of our state, but it's their theme of their legislation to sell out the people to the corporations. Your current state senator, he's taken the city of Zephyr Hills, a beautiful area who's most well known for their water, and he sold out the citizens to the water company. He sold out the citizens of Zephyr Hills to the company of Zephyr Hills. he sponsored a bill to not let our local governments regulate how much pollution goes into our water. Our local government can't stop corporations from poisoning us. And that's the kind of legislation this guy supports. That's why we need to get him out of office. And that's why I need y'all to come out and continue doing stuff like this, like you're doing with your community. We can see the excitement all across the country. And we can see it in Florida. They're telling us it can't be flipped. But we know that it can, right? Yeah. When y'all come out to my event, we're having a town hall this Saturday. There might be some news there. We're talking about this environmental destruction. I'm a science teacher. And actually, in the curriculum, we can't call it natural disasters anymore. We have to call it natural hazards. Oh. It's insane. I mean, with ancient African American history, we can't teach them their history. We can't teach them this science. We can't teach them what killed them in the past. We can't teach them what's about to kill them in the future. They're limiting their access to knowledge, and it's despicable. When we come out and we fight for what's right, when we stand up to the evil parts of this government, selling out our land to these huge corporations just want to build golf courses on the last remaining natural wildlife corridors in this state, destroying our water quality, we can stop that when we speak out. So I hope that you come to my community conversation on Saturday. We have one every single week at Crate over at Cafe Zorba. It's a great time. Saturday starting at 7 to 9. And we have another one roaming Hillsborough, Pasco County every single week on different days. I send out weekly volunteer opportunities, also just Ben Braver activity opportunities. And we are doing DoorDash all across the area. If you want to come talk to me, say that you'd like to help sponsor one in your area, or if you know people who want to get involved in your area. Actually, my co-teacher just put a note on my desk that said, Tim Waltz is the, what was it? I forget the word. It's the protector that Mr. Rogers told us to look for. Like, this ticket is flipping Floridians. It is flipping people blue. You can see that our party has values, and their party doesn't. Their party just stands for whatever serves Donald Trump's interests, and nothing more. But we stand for helping people. We stand for freedom. And I need y'all to get out here and help me win this election so we can flip Florida blue and make sure Kamala Harris wins this election. Thank you so much. What policies do y'all care about the most? What do you care about changing the most in this state? There's a lot. It's an overwhelming question.
I want to protect our water. I want to protect our space, the natural beauty of our state.
Yeah.
Park, step park. I mean, encroached on by development.
It's my absolute favorite part of living in Florida. I used to bike around Flatwoods Park. I don't know if y'all know about it. Every single weekend with my friends. It was beautiful. It was amazing. But they're building more and more and more just single-family homes, quarter-acre plots, taking up all the water. My dad wants me to resod the lawn right now because that St. Augustine grass that we have to have in our lawns can't survive here. You need gallons of water every single day. And that helps the water companies that give kickbacks to the Republicans, but it hurts us. And with 8,000 new people coming in every single week to this state, we can't afford that kind of terrible planning. We have to plan better. There are smart ways to plan that'll protect our environment. But they're not doing that because they threw out all the regulations. And that means they have short-term profits for these monopolies. But to actually benefit our economy, we have to build for the future. But the people who don't live in the future don't care about that. All they care about is their profit right now. Anything else that you all care about?
Just, I come from New York very recently, and what we hear up there is that the school libraries and parents, as I understand it, are coming in and saying, a couple of them saying that book is not good for children, and then the school boards are saying, we have to ban it, please put it on hold, and who knows what happens. How does that structure work? Where who's making these decisions on bad books?
You want to talk?
Well, say it started. This takes one person to reject the book, and it's not.
What does that hierarchy look like?
So you go to your school board and you tell them you have a problem with this book, and they have a vote on it. I mean, it's complicated. I'm not entirely sure where the Hillsborough Pasco, but really, it's an important thing to talk about because we shouldn't be limiting access to knowledge. That's ridiculous, and he's literally attacking diversity. Diversity is the foundation of education. Interacting with different ideas is how you learn something new.
Is it localized?
It is localized, yes. But we have to focus more on the economics of our schools, because if you're born into a lower area, into a Title I school, you are getting the bottom quintile of Florida's children, you're getting $2,000 less a year than the top quintile. The richest kids, those are starting at third base, get to a free home run, a free run. But the kids who are starting on first base or at home are getting pushed back further. We need to ensure every kid has the same opportunity given to them from the state. And one of the things I say to parents are worried, if you're worried about an idea, talk to your kids, right? Making something taboo, making something the enemy never works. If you care about your learning the right thing, talk to them. And anything you get online is much worse than what you can find in a school library. You can talk to with a teacher. And if they cared about it, they wouldn't be trying to control just a 13-year-old's access to the internet. They'd be regulating the corporations that are making addictive algorithms and advertising particularly to the youth. They're making the problem of the children. It's the corporation's problem who's preying on the children.
Well, I'm a retired school counselor, and I think what's really important to know is that every district has a different policy. But here's the thing. Before all of this happened, there was a very regimented process that as a parent, you could go, and it was usually something like, I have a concern, you tell the teacher, then the administration, then there's the assistant superintendent that will then meet as a board, and then it can go to the school board. There was always a very good system in place if there was a concern about books. The way the opposite side will explain it, it sounds like it's a free-for-all and the teachers can just have anything and nothing was going on. But there was always a good process in place, and that's what's important to know. It was never a free-for-all.
Yeah.
But now this district-wide and even some school-wide on how
That's how they say it.
And so, I'll get to you in a second. Christopher Rufo, he was one who started the whole outrage about CRT, and he admitted that it was just a marketing ploy, right? And that Trump will say, like, yeah, don't do the border bill that we wrote and wanted. These will be good for our kids, right? We know they don't have values. All they care about is the election, lying and creating fear as much as they can. And then Ron DeSantis, who's trying to outflank Trump from the right on his path to the presidency, installed Christopher Rufo as the president of, not president, one of the board members of New College. And it was disgusting. He is just firing these academic professionals. And we see how terrible it was at UF. He installed Ben Sasse, president, just the Republican senator from, I forget, some western state. Nebraska is right now, thank you. And he tripled their administrative overhead by paying money to these companies that do nothing, who actually wouldn't even sign a bill saying what they use that money for. And what DeSantis said is that DEI and woke are causing the problems in our school budget. And yet the person he put in there, the fiscal conservative, tripled the administrative overhead.
Not even at New College, when they're paying this guy as well as. Anyway,
Yeah.
He's making more than the president of the University of Florida.
Yeah.
No comparison. Also, in the state of Florida too, I think there's 2 people that are responsible for most reprimanding. Some that don't even have kids going to school now.
Yep.
And as a teacher too, if you didn't want your child to read a book, you could go to the teacher and say you objected to it, and then give them another book.
Yeah.
So it's manufacturing comes. But my concern is, my youngest grandson is at Betsy Elementary School, and he's in 3rd grade. She had to have last week the class for 1 year. And I know we as educators, like swing in my generation, the work of educators and very highly educated in our field, content area. Now you have to walk on the street.
Yeah.
Come to teach you, the same one put military people in there to sit there, they weren't even qualified to do it. And then, and the stuff was doing with the unions, the police and fire unions are exempt, right?
Yep.
Because they support DeSantis, but the teachers had to have a certain percentage, I think, 60%?
Yep.
in order to justify their union, but he doesn't do that.
And all the other public.
Right. We pay like 90% they get in retirement, but we get 48% from them.
Yep.
So it's so inequitable, and what's so upsetting about it is that you're not getting certified teachers for kids. Yet $8,000 is going to families, not on a needs basis, and they can even go to religious schools, okay, which constitutionally they shouldn't be doing.
Yes.
And they could get trampolines, and they could get ATVs, and they could go on field trips to Disney World, and this is what we're the bulwark of education in this country, the public school system, that have brought people up and brought them into the middle class. And now we've got these fly-by-night charter schools, right, no certified teachers necessary, public schools, I mean, the private schools, no certified teachers necessary, and I can tell they're showing in education. They are making our schools fail.
Yes, and that's a common theme. They break the system, then blame it for being broken.
They do.
Now, first of all, I'm sorry, man. You are absolutely right with everything you said. Please come volunteer for me. Yeah, they're, sorry, there's a lot of you that said there. The unions are disgusting because unions are what built this country. We know that. When Reagan started attacking unions, that's when the middle class started falling. When he cut the taxes into just helping the rich people so we get their scraps, or so they can their scraps would trickle down. So of course, that's insane, it's idiotic. That's when the unions in the middle class started disappearing. We need to have strong unions. This right to work in Florida is just a right to fire, right? It doesn't mean anything, and they couch their verbal policy in appealing messaging, right? They just lie to the people, to their faces. We need to bring these unions back, and it was absolutely disgusting when he targeted teachers, people who bring the economic powerhouse of our entire society, because they're training the next generation on how to think, on how to live well, and we absolutely need to invest in that. What studies show is that the only regular common denominator between a good teacher and a bad teacher is the years of experience. And the first 3 years are the most important. But for the first 8 years of your time teaching in the state of Florida, you'll get a $250 raise every year. Only $250. So of course people don't want to stay in this profession. There's no growth available in it. And they're demonized. I was doxxed by Libs of TikTok for saying that a trans student should feel safe, and that it's ridiculous I can't use their nickname. They ask me to, right? I mean, forget about going to the bathroom. They won't let me call them by their preferred name. It's ridiculous. They're just targeting people, but feel worse and worse. And when you're attacking a teacher for giving them books to read, for just educating the children on our true history, and you're not mad about the gay conversion therapy in this state, you're on the wrong side. You are allowed to physically restrain kids with disabilities. If you're not mad about that, you're on the wrong side. You are allowed to hit a kid as long as you tell another teacher that you're doing it. If you're not mad about that, you're on the wrong side. They consistently distract us in culture war, idiocy, right? What matters is the fact that they're letting monopoly steal from us, and they're selling our, and they're just disrespecting our bodily autonomy. Whether it comes to kids being able to get in class, or women to make their own choices, or anybody to love who they want, or anybody to learn what they want.
And just a follow-up question to everything that Cheryl said. I was just asking her on the sideline, how do they get to Ray? Because she's talking about Betsy. My granddaughter also goes there. Actually, our grandchildren. And how do you get to Ray 8+? Because that's what my daughter sent me proudly. Our grandchildren, our children are going to an 8+. I'm going, are you really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not I work in the Title schools. The easiest public school to learn. And I mean, I'm not saying that all of them is very good that last year, but my friends had it. But actually, it is fairly good. But they just, I mean, they've got something to deal with now.
The whole grading system is out of whack. We have an over-reliance on just numbers representing children. you cannot get a kid education from one test. All those multiple choice tests are their memorization and regurgitation, right? All it tests is how well the teacher can teach to that test. It doesn't actually see understanding and critical thinking, which is what these students need. When you have the entire world on your phone, you don't need to memorize what the DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, right? You can look that up, but you need the critical thinking skills to find the right information and to understand what you're looking at. That's what we will always need in this economy, in this country, and to be functioning members of society. But the state doesn't care about that. All they care about is showing U.S. News and World Report that we got the most students to graduate. Who cares about if any of them can read, right? No Child Left Behind is just dragging students across the finish line that shouldn't be there. Once you, especially, I have the last year, fifth grade teacher of the last year that was really hurt by COVID, because that was their formative educational years, right? So many of them can't read, can't write at all, but they've been dragged forward by an education system that won't leave them where they need to be to get the help that they need, because there's no funding to give them the help that they need. But the funding is there. It's just going to those private schools who can accept a child. And then if they have a disability, or for literally any or no reason, can expel that child, keep the money that comes with them while they go back to my classroom, and all my students get less resources for it. And the charter schools, you come in, use our tax dollars to build their corporation's business headquarters, close the school, sell their headquarters, and just steal our money. Same with their insurance. We are subsidizing our insurance. We are making reinsurance from the state, and we're subsidizing it for all these private companies. So when we pay our private company to insure our home, and then they improperly invest our money, which they do all the time because there's no regulations, they have an insurance run, so they have bailed out by the state, which means we pay for our insurance twice. We paid to save our insurance company, who we paid to save us. There is a constant theme of selling out us, the monopolies, and we need to change it from our school system to our insurance system to every other system they control. Any other questions? Comments? And I need you out there volunteering with me, because we can actually make change. I need your donations. That's the language that our political system speaks. And I need to see you out there with me at a community conversation and at my weekly volunteer opportunities, which I'll email to y'all when you give me your email on my data feed. Yes, this video will be online as soon as I end it. Hi, everyone who's watching right now. We have 10 people online. And I have TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the social media at BenDraverFL, and my website is bendraver.org.
It's on the card.
Yeah.
Right?
And there's an event calendar on my website. You can find.
If we're already getting emails from you, do we need to re-register?
No, you're all good. I won't leave you alone. Don't worry about it.
I'm afraid of that.
All right. Thank you all so much.